On episode number 1 of 2.0, I showed you my Hypalon boat as one of my projects, and how about a little short on it? Trying not to get too ahead of myself here. Got a patch on that one area that had a big hole in it, and this tube, that chamber seems to be holding great, but I am trying to now do some more cosmetic repairs to these tubes just to see where things are going. Now this side, believe it or not, this is actually pretty smooth all the way through here. I don't see any patch or leaking, and believe it or not, this ugly patch here is not actually leaking, but I'm gonna rip it all off and probably just do like a small patch over here. I was originally thinking I would put one big patch across this too, but just this little small area I think will be good. So I don't know who or why somebody put like a fiberglass kitty hair type stuff on these tubes, so I'm gonna have to rip this patch off, and I'm sanding it down, and this top layer of the tube is actually coming off, but I think I can sand it all the way out to here and probably all the way out to here. And I'm going to put one big strip of patch on that thing. Take care of this patch here and that one. This one's leaking just a tiny bit. This one is leaking kind of all around here. See some bubbling up here. So one big patch, that'll just make it look so much better. Also keep in mind, they have paint for these tubes to make them look brand new again. So that's why I'm just going to paint this. And then somebody did a really shoddy job doing this before, and I can sand out all these runs. That's the other fun thing about this Hypalon is you can sand it with 80 grit, and it makes it real smooth, and you just like pretty much do body work on these Hypalon tubes. And then also I'm going to pull all these mounts off, sand all that down, get all that nasty glued off, and then glue these back on even so they're nice and good. The other cosmetic issue with these are these anti-skid pads or whatever they're called. They're just kind of a textured pad that they put on these tubes, and I think a heat gun and these things will come right off, and then I could sand down underneath those. They make these strips for these boats, and you just basically glue them back on. So after I get it all nice and painted, then I can actually glue these on over the paint, and it sticks just as good. So there's a fresh looking step right there. And this is the other issue. It's missing the handle. Surprisingly, none of that is leaking, but I can just sand it down, paint it, glue another handle on there, and that will work. The biggest issue I'm battling with this boat is just somebody else's very shoddy repair. Now there's supposed to be a strip that goes right along here all the way up to the front and kind of come down. Well, that must have dry rotted off or got ripped off or something, and then somebody took that same fiberglass resin and tried to glue it to here for whatever reason. I don't know, and that's actually how this hole got here. Is I was scraping it off and I accidentally punched a hole in the freaking tube. But you know, it's like that on both sides. You can still see this, and I'm just gonna have to grind that down and redo the fiberglass there, and then get a new strip and glue it on. And it's also in the front. You kind of see where that strip used to be. It goes all the way around there. So unfortunately what I'm gonna have to do, I'm just gonna have to rework all that and probably repaint this fiberglass front. I'm gonna take all these off. I might buy a new cap, just so it's nice looking. They're not that expensive. I'm gonna have to take this rail off, and then, like, you know, things like this anchor hook. I mean, they got overspray all over it. Come on, people, seriously? Peeling this stuff off is kind of nerve-wracking. You know, I'm just trying to dig with it with my fingers and try to pull it off. And I mean, just mentally in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna pull a piece of it off, and then it's gonna go But so far that hasn't been the case. I know this stuff's getting kind of rotten, but oh man, it's, you know, I've watched so many videos on how to do this stuff or what people do to fix it, and I think it will be fine. But yeah, it is a little nerve-wracking. I don't know if you can hear me over the compressor, and I got my blower on there to keep it good and inflated and tight so I can sand. But you can see how thick this glue is right here. You know, it's not supposed to be that thick. You know, I can kind of barely feel a little bit of air coming out right there, but I'm just trying to keep it good inflated so I can just continue to sand all that glue off. You can see all the air bubbles in this glue job. That is a bad repair. Well, to conclude for today, I got it deflated and I sprayed it with water. Well, here's the big hole. You can see how big a hole I got there, and I got a hole there. But like kind of all through this strip, if you spray it with water, it's just bubbling up. So this one too, right down here, I'm gonna rip this patch off next. I'm probably not gonna do that today. I'll go ahead and I'm gonna order enough Hypalon to do like from here to about right here to make one big section. I think that would just cosmetically look better. I'm gonna do some more homework and see if that's the better thing to do mechanically, I guess you could say. Well, that will conclude this little short on my Hypalon boat. I hope you enjoyed it.